Welcome to the CBG show for October the 21st, 2014. I'm Chris Brentlinger-Grant.
And I'm Amar Khan.
We here at the show have been telling you about it for weeks. The 2014 Major League Baseball World Series is here. The Giants and Royals are going to kick off their best-of-7 game series tonight in Kansas City. Madison Bumgarner, the man who proved he can down 6 beers at once in the Giants' post-game victory celebration over the Cardinals, gets the game ball to kick things off for San Francisco.
The Royals are going to turn to their ace, the man they traded former Rookie of the Year Will Myers for. Big game James Shield will take the mound for KC. He's simply born to pitch in these types of games. The first pitch will be at 5:07 Pacific time.
I'm typically a National League homer, but I've got to go with the Royals here. I love the underdog story and them having not reached the playoffs since 1985. Also, they haven't lost a game for this entire postseason. Until they do, I see no reason to bet against them. I'm calling Royals in 7.
Ooh, big game pick.
Risky.
Football. It was a record-setting day for Peyton Manning on Sunday night in Denver. Not only did he throw for 318 yards and 4 touchdowns, but Manning topped Brett Favre's all-time record for passing touchdowns by a quarterback.
Peyton hooked up with wide receiver Demaryius Thomas for an 8-yard touchdown late in the second quarter. Manning now sits atop the leaderboard with 510 touchdowns, a record that we here at the ANCBG show think will never, ever be broken. I wonder if the Colts are happy they chose him over now prison inmate Ryan Leaf. Peyton's historic achievement overshadowed a thoroughly great game played by the entire Broncos team. They beat the Niners resoundingly, 42-17.
Now he just needs one more title to be the best quarterback of all time. But that's a discussion for another time. The Seattle Seahawks struggled throughout the game on Sunday and lost 28-26 in St. Louis against the Rams. The offense for Seattle took a while to get off the ground. Many speculated that the Harvin trade to the New York Jets last week was enough of a distraction that the team ended up losing to the lowly Rams. A trick punt return and a risky fake punt won the game for St. Louis. Coach Jeff Fisher was really feeling confident in his special teams at home.
The defending Super Bowl champions slipped to a disappointing 3-3 and have now suffered consecutive losses for the first time since 2012. On a bright note, Seattle quarterback Russell Wilson became the first player in NFL history to register over 300 yards passing to go along with 100 yards rushing in a game. What a stud.
So apparently there was a report that Marshawn Lynch almost didn't get on the bus because he was so upset about the Percy Harvin trade.
He and Percy Harvin are best friends.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was tweeting for a couple hours after that happened. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that tweet was money.
You can see that tweet on our show webpage.
Yeah. Anyways, moving to Big D, the Dallas Cowboys continued their remarkable start to the year by beating the New York Football Giants 31-21 at Jerry's World in Dallas.
Outstanding Cowboys running back DeMarco Murray, arguably in the top 3 running backs in the game today, registered 128 big yards on the ground. He's the first player in league history to gain over 100 yards rushing through the first 7 games of an NFL season. Dallas moved 1 spot ahead in the win column over idle Philadelphia. The team sits atop the NFC East standings with only 1 loss apiece.
Now to some hockey action. Easily the most entertaining game this weekend had the Dallas Stars. Hockey now. Easily the most entertaining game this weekend had the Dallas Stars hosting the Philadelphia Flyers in a game that came down to the wire. Stars defenseman Trevor Daley kicked off the festivities on the power play off some great passing from Tyler Seguin and Jason Spezza, the guy who I forgot was on the team. Couturier answered back quickly after Kari Lehtinen couldn't corral the puck. Dallas scored another in the first and added 3 in the second to completely dominate that period. Philly battled back, tying the game with 4 minutes left to force OT. Now, this game was settled by Captain Claude Giroux, a personal favorite of ours, who ended the game on the power play with a one-timer. The Stars failed to get the win despite Tyler Seguin and Jason Spezza each recording 4 points apiece. People tend to forget about Claude Giroux, a perennial all-star and the guy who has the most points in the NHL the past 3 years. It's time to give him his due as one of the best players in the league.
Another Saturday night game had Steven Stamkos and his Tampa Bay Lightning coming to town to play the Vancouver Canucks. This was the Canucks' first true test of the year against a Stanley Cup contender. which featured all-star goalie Ben Bishop and superstar Steven Stamkos. Just as billed, Stamkos lived up to the hype, scoring a beautiful backhander after some dirty dangles around backup Eddie Lack. The Canucks picked up the pace and got some secondary scoring, with Chris Higgins scoring his first off a great give-and-go with the Canucks' new addition, Nick Bonino.
Bonino's got some nice vision. Now, Stamkos, not one to share the spotlight, scored just a minute and 11 seconds after to restore the lead. Vancouver tied it up minutes into the second off an Alex Edler wrister. Good things happen when you throw the puck on net, kids. While already shorthanded, Kevin Bieksa picked up a penalty, giving the Lightning a 5-on-3, which led to the eventual game-winning goal by Ryan Callahan, assisted from Steven Stamkos.
Vancouver suffered their first loss of the young season. A suspect decision was made by head coach Willie Desjardins when he awarded the start Friday to Ryan Miller against the lowly Oilers and fed Eddie Lack to the Wolves. Victor Hedman, who's tied for the most points by a defenseman this year, left in the second period with a hand injury before being struck by a puck. Hedman will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand.
A couple of games you should tune into this week are when the Broad Street Bullies come into the Madhouse at Madison to face the mighty Chicago Blackhawks. Philly's trying to prove they're the real deal, while Chicago is already at the top of the mountain. Both teams bolster some of the most explosive offenses in the league, with no shortage of star power here, in a matchup that features Claude Giroux and Jacob Voracek versus Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews.
Wednesday kicks off with arguably the NHL's most interesting rivalry in the Battle of Pennsylvania. We love seeing Claude Giroux versus Sidney Crosby. You can tell Giroux truly despises him. Many also believe that the only reason Giroux was left off Team Canada last year was due to that bitter rivalry.
Another one to watch, also involving a Pennsylvania team, features a rematch of the 2008 and 2009 finals between the Red Wings and Penguins from the Joe. Pavel Datsyuk is expected to be back in time for this game, and we're looking forward to seeing him back on the ice.
Thanks for tuning in to this day's episode of the CBG Show. I'm Chris Brentlinger Grant.
And I'm Amar Khan.
See you next time.
Woo!